Oh, hello. Sorry, didn't quite see you there. Just catching up on some reading. I've been away for a while, haven't I? Shall I tell you what's been going on? Come on, roll the credits. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I know I've been away an awful long time. So what's been the hold up? What's been going on? Well, unless you've been, in the North Pole with no television, radio, or internet connectivity for the last couple of years, we have been in the middle of a global pandemic, COVID-19, coronavirus, and now Omicron. So that's kind of engulfed all of our lives. So we've spent a lot of the time being locked away. So therefore, there hasn't been the opportunity to kind of produce any real content, and work's been hectic, and it's just been a bit all over the place. But now that we're kind of, I say, coming out the other side of it, it's still a bit iffy at the moment, but now that things are slowly starting to get back on its feet, I can start with a brand new channel. So when I say a brand new channel, I don't actually mean a brand new channel. I'm just kind of rebranding the old one. Gone is Confessions of an Undertaker, that I had run its course. It had its day, and that kind of finished. So you look for new projects, look for new things to do, different spins on things, and I thought, well, the Confession series was good for what it did, and the people that got stuff out of it got whatever they got out of it, and I got what I got out of it. Which was kind of to lift the lid, as it were, on the UK funeral profession. But now that that's ended, I'm kind of looking at things from a new perspective. So I am still very much employed in the funeral profession. So I still work at a funeral home. I've not left the funeral profession at all. I'm still very much in it. And I'm just kind of looking at how I can kind of not do the Confession series again, because that's been done, but put a different spin on it. So I've come up with a brand new kind of concept, which I hope will work. I spent a lot of time looking around on various video sharing sites, obviously YouTube being the main one, TikTok as well. There's the reels on Instagram, little Facebook videos and things like that. And pretty much everybody's kind of doing the same thing. And especially with people within my profession as well, they're kind of doing the same thing, if that makes sense, which is kind of already been done. So what I want to do is basically look at the funeral profession, but from more of a historical, educational point of view, really, because there's a lot of content out there now about kind of what goes on in funeral homes, and what an embalmer does, and what hospital morticians do, and what funeral directors do, etc, etc, etc. There's tons of information out there, but looking around, there's very few kind of educational videos about the whole history of the funeral profession, because it is a profession that is rich in history, and is kind of engulfed in different cultures and things like that. So that's what I want to explore. So in this kind of new series, I've called it an English Undertaking, because I want to concentrate on not only the English side of things, but also stuff from America, because I've got quite an interest in the American funeral profession anyway, and I speak to a lot of funeral directors out in the United States. So I've got an interest in that. So I'd just like to, compare the two, the UK and the USA, as well as other cultures around the world and different societies and religions and things like that, and on how they practice, funerals, death care, undertaking, whatever you'd like to call it. So that's where I'm hoping this channel is going to go. So, as far as I'm concerned, we'll be looking at kind of the history of the hearse, or herstory. Sorry, really bad go a pun there. So the history of the hearse. Now, obviously hearse has been around for hundreds of years, but the actual the motorized hearse that we see nowadays didn't really take off in this country till like 1929, 1930. So there's quite a lot of history just from 1930 onwards. But before that, there's also quite a good backstory into, the whole hearse story. Herstory. So I want to concentrate on that. I also want to look at the more kind of quirkier characters in the funeral profession. So obviously top of that list being one of my all-time idols, which is Barry Albin, sadly no longer with us. He wrote some brilliant books, one of them being Don't Drop the Coffin. So I'll be having a kind of an in-depth look at him. There's also Peter Stefan in the United States. He's the guy who he never says no to a client. And a few years ago, his funeral home actually got into some trouble because he'd had too many bodies at his funeral home, and he didn't really have the facilities to care for them. So he's quite an interesting character that I'd like to kind of delve into. There is also Doris Armen as well in New York, known as the Victoria Gotti of funeral directors. If you don't know who Victoria Gotti is, she is the daughter of the American mafia boss John Gotti. If you don't know who they are, put them into Google and they'll flag up. But so she's a very interesting character. She's a one-woman kind of band. We call it a one-man band over here, but a one-woman band. So she kind of does everything herself within her funeral home, and she's quite a flamboyant, outrageous character over in New York. So those are just three characters that I'm aware of that kind of spring to mind straight away, that I think would be interesting to look a little bit more in depth at. And of course I will go into the kind of the history and the practice of embalming from where it was to where it is now, and how we kind of look after people, how we've gone from the midwife who will bring you into the world to kind of the midwife would also take you out, if that made sense. So the funeral profession in a way was a very female dominated area of expertise before it got kind of commercialized to what it is now. So I want to have a look at that, and along the way we'll check out a few books as well. If I can figure out how to do it, I'll try and upload some clips of these different characters that I've mentioned, and hopefully I'll be able to put together something reasonably entertaining and interesting. So if that sounds like something you want to be part of, then please feel free to like the video, share it with family, friends and whoever. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notifications as well. I'm going to try and upload at least a video a week. That is easier said than done. I mean, we are in December now. We're only a week away from Christmas. So as you can imagine, things are quite busy at the moment for a lot of funeral directors. I'm no exception. So I'll try to do it, but the reality is this is going to be something that kind of kicks off in the new year, and it'll be slow to start off with, but just bear with me. I'm still on social media, still on Facebook, still on Instagram, still on Twitter. I spend far too much time on Twitter, actually. It's probably getting to the unhealthy obsession stage at the minute. But there we go. That's probably another story for another day. Yeah, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, obviously YouTube. And that's it, really. So, yeah, if you want to get in touch with me. And you can visit the blog site, which is an English Undertaking .blogspot.com. I think I'll stick a link in the description below. So yeah, thanks for your time. Have a lovely Christmas, whatever you are up to, and yeah, stay safe, stay well, and I'll probably see you in the new year. Thanks. Bye bye.